Papa Bear and Big Dog Rocks podcast. Big Dog Robert Scott. Papa Bear Craig Bland.
Welcome to the show.
Woo! I like it. That's cool.
Yeah. Did you recognize the voice?
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Yeah, it's Brian. Brian, my man, Carmen. Yeah. I just put something out there that I was looking for somebody to make something for the beginning of the show, and he did it. So I said, cool.
Yeah, good job.
Did a good job. Yeah, this is Glenn Rogers with us, folks.
Hi, guys.
We're recording today because of technical difficulties, but it actually has something to do with StreamYard. There's so much traffic, I guess they're not letting us go live, so so we had to record. But that's okay. It's still going to be a great show. Anyway, so Glenn, I had you on a while ago. I think you remember that, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a while ago, and now a lot has happened since then. Yeah, okay, yeah. You got the Iron Age. All right.
I still have that, yeah, and it's pretty. It rocks, folks. This is a good one, and we'll be hearing a couple songs from that. And but Glenn, tell us what you guys have been doing. Right.
Well, okay, so we've traveled. We went to Mexico to play a festival, and we made a deal with the label down there in Mérida. Actually, it's down south by the Yucatan Peninsula. Mm-hmm. And so Primal's played Mexico a number of times, but over my years of travels, I find that getting our music, it's rather difficult, and because it's too expensive for them to buy imports. Fans, they don't make a lot of money. They work hard, and their choices. I can either go to the show or buy a CD or buy a T-shirt. They don't have enough to buy both because it's, the import price is too much. So we made a deal with a company called Old Skull Records, and they happen to be big Deliverance fans. So it was a pretty easy deal. So we just made a real comp deal. They make so many copies and give us some to sell, which we have available through Rocks Records. You can find it. And then on our merchandise company, I think Anthony, you know him, with Anchor Merchandise. We have a new CD, Fin de las Tiempo, which means end times. And if you ever seen our video, yeah, it's about the end times and what's going on in the world these days,
Yeah.
So here's a cover, if you can see it, and that's our Homer character. We named him that because I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Now I have that song "End Times" in the Spanish version. Is this one also in Spanish or?
Yeah. So what this is? It's "End Times." We did both Spanish and English, but we wanted to do a Spanish release. So what this record is, it's a compilation. So we just kind of picked our favorite tracks from, Iron Age and Hugh Machine in the first album, and just kind of put together 14 songs so that they have something they can get that's really inexpensive to really get familiar with our music and with the band, and have an option, to find our stuff, because a lot of them, they don't stream, and they get whatever they can. So, and it helps us get in that market. Plus it has a team down there, people who believe in the band and want to help us get down there. So that's kind of a place where we, our main markets are Latin American countries, and South America. So, it makes sense for us to do that. So we did that. We're looking at doing some dates in Europe, kind of negotiating with one festival, but it kind of fell through. But I have another one that kind of stepped up a bit. So starting in the Netherlands, we don't have a confirmed show yet, but we're talking. So we're looking at 2027 in November, December to do a few shows in Europe. That's our goal. We know we can get there. We thought about airfare. We all have jobs, and we can pay our own airfare, and that's how it is anyways anymore. So, it's just getting, all the dates arranged and shows and all that stuff, logistic stuff. So we do have a booking company called High Tree Management and Booking that's in Europe that's working on getting us some stuff. So nothing confirmed yet, but, hopefully we will have some news within the next month or two.
Great. That's, when this gets to Europe, which, by the way, I do have European, we have European watchers.
Oh yeah, we played it. We played Elements of Rock before in Switzerland. It was a great Christian metal festival, and then we did some dates in Spain before that. For 2028, what is called Dark Delight Festival. I think it's in Sweden. We have not a confirmation, but they want us to come. So. But it's so far away. That's why we're just waiting. But, hopefully, we'll get over there more often. And, of course, back to South America. And we're trying to get some dates in the U.S., which we actually do, believe it or not. So this is what's happening August 22nd. If you ever knew about in California, we had a radio station called KNAC.
Yeah, I've seen that.
All right. Well, KNAC is back. And they have KNEC.FM, but they also have live real radio stations in Las Vegas and Barstow and Baker, Nevada, Baker, California, all the I-15 in the desert, and plus you can get them online. Well, they came back and they have a local show. They're really trying to push for original acts and new bands that they never heard of, and they played us. Last week, and we were on rotation for a week, and they have a live show coming up on August 22nd. It's in North Hollywood, and it's Murla Madness Studios. Get it right, but we have a flyer out. If you go to our page, you'll find it. And so we're doing that, and hopefully, if you call into KNEC.FM and request us, they'll play us. So. So that's kind of exciting for us. So getting on the air, so it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And last but not least, I started writing a new record. So within the next year and a half, we should have something new out. And Bill Roxell, he's our guy. We've been with Bill for a number of albums, and of course, we're going to work with him and Scott again.
Great. Yeah, I'm definitely in contact with him too. So
yeah,
Bill Roxell. Yeah. So the other thing. Oh, what was it? Oh, I was going to say Rob is wearing. Tell him, Rob, what you're wearing.
Vengeance.
And why are we wearing this?
Oh, I don't know.
For those who don't know.
Is it because I wrote a couple songs on that record? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I want to tell you a story about this shirt. This isn't the original one I had. Back in 1992, I was at a festival, my first Christian festival, Kingdom Bound, up here in New York. And there was a Vengeance human sacrifice shirt for sale, and no one wanted to buy it. It was a 3XL, and I was a lot smaller back then, but I'm like, $10 is $10. So I bought it, and I wore it, and I got a lot of grief for a little bit, but I'm like, whatever. And then I wore this at Mortal Fest a couple years ago, and Pastor Bob goes, "That's my hand on your shirt." I'm like, "That's cool."
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when he shot that, because I'm friends with those guys, of course. Mm-hmm. And I went to Sanctuary, and we were all talking about that. It's the only bummer thing for like Deliverance, because our album came in after that one, was our idea for that cover was not what they gave us. The idea was supposed to be the blood splatter logo and, chains shattered,
right.
Like shattered, all like a bunch of chain, instead the guy who shot it was too tired. He took real chain, and he sawed one link and he said, "No, this is too much." And that's all he did.
Oh, no.
So it was like Spinal Tap for us. It's our first album cover. We were like, "Oh, really? That's the best you can do?"
Wow. Oh, that's
So
too
yeah,
bad.
for us personally, we're just kind of like, oh, okay, man, you know. So Vengeance got the really cool album cover, and we got well, you know, like blood drippings and one chain link
Right.
signifying
Mhm.
being delivered.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
But it is
yeah.
what it is. That's the business back then. We didn't have computer graphics, so
No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember Vengeance, and I remember Deliverance too. I mean, there was a lot of bands that were coming out at that time, weren't there?
oh yeah, yeah, everybody, a lot of groups, because I was in other band called Hero. We were on the Cal Metal album as well, with Robbie, who was the former singer of Holy Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 2 songs on that record. But that band, well, it didn't last long because Jimmy stole me away to join Deliverance. So that's why it was short lived. And then our drummer, Pete, was Bob Sweet's drum tech. So he actually, before I joined Deliverance, he left the band to go on tour with Stryper. It was the In God We Trust tour. So he was
Right.
gone for a year and a half, touring with them. So that, kind of, was why the band split up.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's where I think most of us started was Striper, and then it seemed like there was this explosion after that.
Yeah, I remember
bands.
those guys before they were Stryper. They were called Rock's Regime.
Yeah, Rock's Regime. Yep.
They actually had Metallica open up for them once.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When Metallica first started coming out, and then the band. It was funny. The band in between, back then they were called Chaos, and it'd be a band that I would join. They'd later change their name to Hyrax, and then that was a band that I was in, like in early 2000 till 2010. And yeah, they were on that show too. Actually, our singer Caton was friends with the Stryper guys. He actually roadied for them too sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. That was yeah. They're all out of California, of course.
Yeah, we all
So,
knew each other.
yeah, I'm sure he talked about all the bands that played up and down this. What strip was that? That it was famous.
Oh yeah, the Sunset Strip.
Sunset Strip. Yeah.
Yeah, that was more for the. I don't want to call it glam bands, but a lot of the more poppy metal bands. A
Yep.
thrash band like Deliverance. We spent most of our time Country Club, which is in the Valley, Troubadour, which is off the Strip, and then like Orange County, which is where the punk and heavy thrash scene was really really big. Like
Yeah.
Slayer and Dark Angel, and Us, and Viking, other bands. We were more south of LA for sure.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, but it was really good though. There were so many different bands coming out with different sounds, and
Yeah, and it was all original. It's like it's
Yeah.
funny. I look at the scene now, and not to complain, but it has switched completely to cover bands, or they call tribute bands.
yeah,
When I go to, we were booking shows at the Whiskey recently. Primal played there with Heretic, and but all the other shows were like other nights were all tribute bands. It's like this is the Whiskey, and it's mainly tribute bands. You'll get a
Wow.
national act coming through, or an act like us who's signed and stuff. They'll give them a show, but every other night it's tributes, which is okay. It's cool. I mean, I get it's a gig and it's fun, but it doesn't support the original scene.
Right.
yeah.
But that's why KNEC.FM is back.
Hey, that is so awesome.
So DJ Hollywood owes me. I'm giving him a big prop. So when he sees this interview,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the time that we're in now, I mean, years ago, it was, you really had to know people to get yourself out there, getting promoted. But
Yeah.
today with social media, you can get your stuff out there to everybody and anybody, right? So, I mean, how has it changed, do you think? Is it been for the better, or,
Well,
or do you
social media's even changed, because when I first started doing MySpace and Facebook, there wasn't so much of a you weren't confined. You could reach friends a lot easier, and then Facebook monetized itself, and so if you want to reach more than 20 people, you have to pay. you know?
Yeah. I know.
And so, like, I have over 5,000 friends, right? But I only actually see maybe 20 or 30 at a time when I post stuff. So you have to
Right.
constantly post over and over and over and over again. And I know other people think, oh, that's annoying, Glenn. You keep posting. I go, yeah, but you see, you don't know about the other 10 or 15 people who came online an hour ago who haven't seen any of that, and it's not in their feed. So that's why you got to keep feeding it, you know? So it's cool, but it's, I don't know. I wish they would take the handcuffs off and let bands and people free to reach their audience easily, without having to cough up $25, $50, and it's 50 more people, So that's how it changed. So I mean, every time you get a good idea, someone has to come along and wreck it because they need to make a buck,
That's crazy. But hey, we have some songs today, or a couple of songs that you gave me, and the first one is Iron Age. Now I always do this. I ask the artist to explain the song before we play it, so everybody understands what we're playing. So go ahead and tell us about Iron Age.
Well, the lyrics are written by our singer Beto Zamarbide. So for you guys who just let me background him, he's from Argentina, and he was in a band called V8 and Logos, which was one of the biggest Christian metal bands, or they call it white metal down there. And so he came up with the lyrics. Now, the actual meaning, when we were discussing the song, I can give you where I was coming from with it. I'm very much into history. And if you follow our band's history, the first album was very Stone Age looking cover. Iron Age was the next step up in the development of humankind. We went from Stone Age to the Iron Age, and so on and so forth. So that was kind of the idea, the concept of the song and the album. And so that's kind of where that one's at. It's like, if I wrote the lyrics, I can give you more deeper meaning to it, but I didn't. So it's a good thrasher.
Okay, well we'll play that song, and here we go.
This
Wow, that rocks.
Shades of old Deliverance, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
That's what I do.
Yeah. And that was you shredding on the guitar or what?
Yeah, I'm the only one. We're a 4-piece band, so it says one guitar, bass, drums, and lead vocal. That's it.
Yeah, you sounded just awesome about the guitar. That just was.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, that was just blows me away. But I really liked that good driving hard rock, heavy stuff there. That was really good. And the vocals are good too. You can tell your friend. I love his vocals.
Yeah, with Beto, he's very much a clean singer. He's not a screamer. That's just kind of. Also, it's a tradition, in Argentina. A lot of that, the singing, very much singing. Not Of course, you got the other thrashers who do that, but that's from his generation. They do a lot of singing, and it's interesting because his interpretation between English and Spanish, So figuring out, he asks us for help too sometimes, on certain phrases and stuff, because he's got, thick accent. So, and I kind of like it because it's different, from your typical. You remember like the Scorpions, like when Klaus Meine first came out, he has that German accent, he's singing in English, but there's some of that going on. So it's different, and I like it. So I think the fans like it too.
Yeah.
I know I like it.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, especially like the song off Q Machine, Firefight.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love when he says firefighter, because I'm a firefighter. So
that's awesome. My brother's a
31
firefighter.
years. So that like it really, like when I heard it, again yesterday, I'm like, oh, that's inspiring again. So
yeah, that song was really kind of an ode to old school heavy metal. When I started writing the music to that, the title actually I came up with as well. A lot of times with the songs, I'll come up with the song title and kind of the concept, and Beto will take it from there. And like firefight, firefighter. My brother was a firefighter as well. So is L.A. City Fire Department. He retired now, but so that kind of came, my thoughts, about getting into the firefight, and because with our music, we're not blatant, but we definitely have a message that's there because God put it in our hearts, So I think sometimes people get confused because we're not straight up old 1980s Christian metal. Right. But I think, we're in our 60s. We're not kind of writing for that. I think God put it in our hearts, it's just to write what we write, So the message is always there. It's always positive. And if you do a little reading and thinking about what we write, which is the point of why we try to do it this way, is, get people to think about it, Right. Also, we're trying to reach, a lot of non-Christians, that's really
Absolutely.
the goal, So, and I know from, my years in it, that I'd rather them, have to work a little harder instead of getting turned off, and that kind of was the case a lot of times. And I find like when I toured in Europe with Hyrax, I had so many conversations with guys, who knew Hyrax, secular thrash band, they knew me from Deliverance and the Vengeance stuff. And that created some great conversations. And, and a lot of fans came out of the woodwork who you would think were, fans of that music, especially in Sweden, secular musicians, like there was a band I toured with called Wolf, very popular there. They're on Century Media. And when they heard I went back into Deliverance, they sent me photos of him holding the first album, that they got because it was in vinyl in Europe. And he's like, yeah, we're big fans. So, I'm proud of the fact that we reached people. And
Absolutely.
so that's why I'm glad we're still doing what we do. And, it's just hoping that, we'll reach more. And then, the fans that are there will support us and bring us to some festivals and help us grow.
All right.
Absolutely. And, going back to the firefighters, there's a good Christian thing to say about that, in the sense that firefighters, when people are running away from the fire, they're running into the fire. They're actually tackling the very thing that most people would be running from. And so you guys as rock musicians, I mean, you are actually going into the fires, and I think that's true of all Christians, but, we actually are running to the problem.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just in our soul, we want this, we want everyone to share, it's like they misconstrued us as we're trying to take over the world in the sense of, it's a bad thing. It's like we're just trying to share what is good, what God has in store for us, right? And we're happy about that. Hey, this is good news, guys, and they kind of look at it negatively until you can get to the one-on-one. I find that is the key. Is when you get into the conversation, then all of that stuff falls away, and then they see you as a person, and then they can relate, So that's how I view it, anyways. And it's been my experience, to be honest.
Right. Matter of fact, on the subject of the good news, we have this next song here called "The Gates." So, I heard the message in that, and I liked it. The words in that. Now, who wrote this song?
Well, I wrote the music. I write the music for like 90% of the band, and then Beto does the melody and the lyrics. But I come up like the gates is my concept, because we translate, and like I'll give him an idea, and he does his own as well. There's other songs that he comes up with, but this was one that I thought of. Enemy at the Gates. It's pretty much what it is. And then he's really creative in putting his message in there. And you guys got to remember too where they come from. Our drummer as well is from Argentina. These guys were playing music during the time of the dictatorship down there. Yeah. So they went through the Falkland War. People disappeared, especially when they were like, kind of fighting against the government, and that's what they were doing, with this music. And so a lot of that is in, his experience. So it's in the lyrics, that's in the message as well, So I'm glad you got the message of that. And it's there. I mean, there's a song. I'm going to point out a song from the Hugh Machine album called Savior. That one I wrote a lot of the lyrics to. And that song, because it's really personal for me, is really a prayer. Right. It's a prayer that I had that I kind of put into words, wrote it down, and then gave it to Beto, and then he made it into the song. Really, really, it's a Savior. It's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
So check that out if you guys got some time, want to listen to that one. It's one of my favorite songs off that album.
We will do that.
But the Gates, that one got played on KNEC, by the way. That's the song they put in rotation. Cool.
Okay, so you guys heard it right here. So here we go.
Release
attack. Stand and fight for all the warriors' fate. It was sold to save us all, the warriors' fate. Enemy out the gates. Enemy out the gates. Enemy out the gates. Rising from the east to set the fire, release the beast. Hatred of mankind to rule forever, to take what's mine. Stand and fight for all the warriors' fate. It was sold to save us all, the warriors' fate. Enemy out the gates. Enemy out the gates. Enemy out the gates.
Well, that's a fun one.
Yeah, and you know what I like about that too, of what you guys are doing, more than the vocals that you guys are actually doing the music, instrumental parts. That I see there you really fill it in a lot with a lot of great guitar playing and the drums and everybody, just doing their thing. So I like that kind of thing, where some bands it's all about the vocals, or some bands it's all about the other thing. But you guys balance it out. You've got the vocals, but you also got the instruments being able to be shining up front there. So that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of that too. Our producer at the time, Iggy Escalates, I can't say his name right. Another guy from Argentina. He's a good guy, but he really helped us shape, the little in between parts and stuff. And having a good producer really, really helps. Someone with an extra ear, will give you an idea as you're working on it that you wouldn't think of. And he was challenging me on a lot of guitar playing because a lot of times in the early days we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of time. It was just like you get one or two tries and then that's your solo. That's it. Next. I mean, the Deliverance record, I did all my solos in a day, maybe a day and a half at the most. And that was it. It's all the time I got.
Wow.
Yeah, because money was tight, but for some reason we still haven't paid off the budget of that record. I don't know why, for some reason, but who knows?
Oh, the music business.
Yeah.
Yeah, but So what are your plans like here in the future? You said you're going to be doing some touring and going around.
Yeah, the main thing we're trying to work on dates for next year. We really want to do a new record to really push that forward. To this day, I don't know why. Even though it's all about digital downloads, I still like to make records and record it. 10 songs to kind of make the concept work. So I've been songwriting already. I got about 5 or 6 ideas down, a couple songs, worked out with the band already. And, I do a lot of work at home with the demos, my own drum machine and recording. So I'll rough draft a song, send it to the guys, they'll work it up, and then we rehearse it out and then kind of adjust it from there. And then we send it to Beto, who lives in Miami, and he has a studio there, and he'll work on the vocals. And then when it's time to record, that's it. We get it together and do it. So we have the luxury of Jorge. Our drummer Jorge Cabillas has his own recording studio. So our stuff is set up to record anytime we want with the Pro Tools system. And
Okay.
that's my cat Jonesy. Do you see him?
I heard him.
Yeah, well, he's right behind me.
Yeah.
He's like, give me
Hey,
attention.
kitty. Yeah.
But,
That's normal for
Yeah,
cats.
so that's kind of how we work it. Jorge and I work out the rough draft, and our bass player Cesar Sirigati will come in. He's a longtime friend that I've known since the time with Deliverance. Actually, he was there when I was in Deliverance, and then later we joined up in a band called Steel Vengeance. And all these years later, and he's another first responder, CHP. He's retired now.
Well,
And actually, you want to hear a funny story? This is fun. One of the shows we played,
Oh.
Cesar, because he's a CHP officer, so he's always carrying, it's part of the job. And so he goes on stage and we're jamming, we're playing. He forgot to take off his weapon. I'm like, dude, you got your gun on. He goes, oh no.
Oh.
Did the whole show packing,
Oh, wow.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Don't
it's like,
mess with
all right. Okay, well, we're safe on stage, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but
Somebody
these guys are
trying
my
to trouble.
brothers, man. The thing is, when we travel, like, a lot, like in Argentina and Spain and stuff, you grow and you room together and you become family, and so
Absolutely.
they're my family away from home, So hopefully
Yeah.
we'll get this new record out and we'll hit the same spots and explore Europe a little more. I'd like to get, I was talking to Anthony about, because he's starting to do shows out in the East Coast, like in Nashville. And I said, dude, if you do a show, White Cross or whoever is open, we'll open for them, just let us know. We'd love to come out. Airfare's no an
Yeah.
issue, just book us. So I don't know. They're going to talk about doing something. Hopefully, we'll get invited. I've tried Immortal Fest a couple times, but I don't think they're familiar enough with Primal to bring us in. But that's okay.
Right.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'd love to see you and Rex Carroll just sitting there and shred together. That would be
Oh, that
cool.
would be fun. I'd
Yeah.
enjoy doing that.
Yeah, because I've told other people this, and Rob knows this too, but Rex Carroll actually is from where I grew up in high school. And
Oh, right.
and I was in a rock band right out of high school. I was in a rock band, and my drummer Dave Mobile went to a church, and he was going to the same church Rex Carroll was going to.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it just so happens I could have met Rex Carroll and I didn't know it.
Probably.
Because I would go to Dave's church and meet all kinds of people, but I didn't know who I was meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, back in those days, you never know. I mean, when we went to Sanctuary, all the musicians that were going there,
Yeah.
I mean, they were just the guys at Sanctuary. I mean, but it all turned, over the years, we've all grown and done our thing.
Wow. Yeah.
And just think of all the talent that came out of that church. That's amazing,
Yeah, absolutely. And Dave Mobile, by the way, was an excellent drummer.
Yeah.
He still is. But he's in full-time ministry down in Florida, Miami, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And he's a minister. I mean, in the sense that, like, he's doing pastoral work.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but he still plays drums, and I can tell you he could rock those drums. And
Well, you know
I
what?
just
The
don't know that.
musician's always there. You know what? I
Yeah,
mean, it's like I'm 60 years old now, and it's just it doesn't stop. The song ideas don't go away. You know, I pick up a
no,
guitar, and it's like, oh, okay. Just it's God's gift. I
yeah,
acknowledge that it's not me because I'll just pick up. I need a riff. It'll be there. I don't know.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's just one of those things, and it doesn't stop. So I'll just keep doing what I do.
yeah. I'm 61, and I still write songs.
Yeah.
By myself on a guitar. I just sit there and play around, and I'll come up with songs. I do sing. I was the lead singer of our band, so I actually am, and that's why I tell you, when I hear vocalist, I listen very closely to him.
Yeah, you're tuned
And,
in. Obviously, that's
yeah,
good. That's good.
and I'm tuned into your guy, and he's awesome. So just tell him that.
I
So
will. Well, he'll
yeah,
hear this video because I'll send it to him.
yes, absolutely. Say hello to him hello. so I can
Hey,
say
Beto,
hello. If
everyone
it's
says
okay.
hello.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. And I do hear his accent, but it's not that bad.
No, it's actually really
it's
cool. It gives a different
it's really
flavor and
good.
color to our music.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how I look at it. I don't. The thing is, I've seen us reviewed. We're kind of a band that really we don't get slammed. We're either okay or we're good. I haven't seen us like any of the magazines or other music reviewers, totally, kill us because I've been in other bands that they've just slammed us, horribly. So
yeah,
that's okay. So, I think we have a thing that works for us. And we just hope that people will get along and check it out. I think the thing is that what I'm finding is it's just getting the word out. And thank you for having me on the show. It's getting the word out
Our pleasure.
so people can at least what's Primal about? Who's Primal? Because you get that. I mean, we're former members of known bands, but it's like they don't care about that. They want to know, well, what's this that you're doing? So. I encourage people to check it out, and you can find us online on YouTube. All our videos are out there, and you can watch for free.
yeah.
And if you like it, then support us. It'd be nice to sell a CD.
Yes, absolutely. And I got this one. So when you guys come out with the new one, I'll definitely get that one too. And
Cool.
absolutely. Well, we'll definitely. Rob and I will both support you.
Oh yes,
I appreciate it, guys.
I love supporting you guys. From Deliverance to Vengeance to all the good bands and stuff. And
Yeah. Did you guys ever check out the Once Dead record that we did? It was a Vengeance when we reunited, but we couldn't call it Vengeance. So the Visions of Hell album. It's hard to find now, but if you could find it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not. I didn't know about it, so I guess I can. See if we
Okay,
can
so
find
yeah,
it.
so years ago when Doug called me up and we started doing shows as Once Dead. Scott Waters was the singer, and then Larry Farkas, Doug, Roger. They invited me into the band, which was fun because I got to play the Vengeance songs, White Throne and Burn, and all the ones I wrote. I never really got to play those on stage, but then, when I joined Once Dead, I got to, and it was a lot of fun. And so we did an album called Visions of Hell that came out years ago. I mean, 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, I think. If you can find it, it's pretty cool. Jim Chapin played drums on it, from Deliverance and the Crucified.
Okay.
So we were all there and made this record, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely check that out. See what it is, if it's out there. I mean, I hope it is.
Somebody's got it.
Somebody's got it.
I have a copy somewhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. If you happen to find something or just share it with us, let us know, and we'll go find out what it is.
Yeah, if you ever talk to Doug Thiem, I know he probably has some copies too.
Okay.
And
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I'm telling you, it's great having you on the show, and I love that both those songs. Of course, I've heard because I've got that, but but I can't wait to hear all the new stuff. And also, like I said, we'll definitely be praying and supporting you.
Well, thank you, guys.
Things. And it's great, Glenn, staying in contact with you. And like I said, anytime you guys have something new that's coming out, we'll bring you back on the show, and we'll definitely promote it and put it out there for everybody to hear.
Well, yeah, I love talking with you guys. So thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
I know next time I'll make sure I have a Primal T-shirt for you.
Hey, go to Anchor Merchandising. They got them.
That's where I get all my shirts from.
Yeah, he's been a great supporter, and Anthony has a couple of these new CDs. This is a new one for the Mexico fans. So
yeah, we'll have to do that.
Pretty cool one. Artwork's nice on it too. So
cool.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Hey, there's my cat.
Yes,
I see a tail.
Yep.
All right. Well, God bless you, brother, and we'll be talking to you soon. So
thank you. God bless the fans. Thank you for supporting us, and keeping the music alive, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
God bless all. And good night, everybody. And you will be seeing this afterwards.
Take care, Glenn.